Hello,
Hey, Leo, how are you?
I'm fabulous. How are you, Daniel?
Hey, good.
Excellent. Do you hear me well? Do you see me well?
Yeah, pretty
Fabulous.
well. Shahad with us. I hope everything is clear. Can you confirm? We have 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm excited. Can't wait.
We already have 6 people.
Fabulous.
Lovely.
That's the way, and hopefully, we're gonna get a lot of engagement and most importantly, bring value. Most importantly.
Yeah, I depend most on the inputs of the people. Yeah, let's see. We'll try to put it on the table and listen. We discuss, and then I hope the output will be beautiful.
Exactly. Wonderful. Very, very excited.
And by the way, okay, when we start, because I wanted to start it with, okay, let me wait 1 minute more.
Sure. We're just gonna be ourselves. That's it.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, true, very true.
I think. I think that's the most value. That's when people can connect most. Wonderful, wonderful.
Perfect.
Drum roll.
TikTok, TikTok.
Two,
I will get
one.
some.
Five. Sorry.
Bless you.
Thank you. Thank you. There you go.
There you go. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we are live. Uh, we'll start here just like by it's an open discussion. So we appreciate all your engagement anytime in the comment line. To introduce myself, this is Daniel Tokat from Monday Talks. This is my show, and I do like meet people and get their stories shared and shed some light on their stories and experiences. But this time we have a special guest and a special as well a special title, which is around women love to wear many hats. Okay, many hats means like, yeah, she's a mother, she's an employee, she's a business owner, she's a sister, she's everywhere. Actually, she's not only the half of the society, but she's like behind every successful man. So, enough about me. Let me introduce you to my guest today, Coach Leah Todirean. She's a coach. Hey, she said, my job is to stretch you into the person you know you can be, but never really believed it's possible. So that's what she's standing for. You're the expert of your life, and you have the answer. With the specific tools and techniques, you uncover just how you complete you are. So she is a multidisciplinary, international certified coach and trained and guided by top coaches. She's the founder of HEAL. I love the name, and it stands for Heal, Empower, Achieve, and Love. She's a mindset coach. She was like so tempting for me to be my first guest on this live stream. So I hope you enjoy it as much as I do. And let's welcome Coach Leo Tedrian. Can you introduce yourself?
Absolutely. First of all, I'm extremely excited to be here and for us to have already an audience. Welcome to this hopefully very interactive and very useful conversation. Thank you so much for that beautiful introduction, Danielle. You basically summed up what I stand for, what I'm about. I'm also a self-proclaimed self-love advocate because I think at the end of the day, when everything is said, done, achieved, fulfilled, we're all here to love and give love.
Perfect. This is what we are here. Like we are human, and we human just like exchange everything. That's we live. That's why we live in communities. Okay, going before going to anything, I would love to say happy birthday. That was yesterday or day before.
That was yesterday. Thank you so much. I'm still receiving. I am still receiving. So this is so welcome. Thank you so much.
That's perfect. If I knew from before, then we can schedule it by your birthday, and it will be a very nice celebration.
A hundred
Anyway,
percent. It would have been. It was a fantastic day. I just told myself there's nothing I want to do, and the universe had provided with amazing plans, and I ended up doing so many exciting things and meeting new people on my birthday, and it was amazing. One more just confirmation that everything is perfect and complete as it is. Sometimes you just
lovely.
have to let go and receive.
So one of the comments was Lara Rosali. It's her first live to attend. Very excited. So am I. Thank you, Lara. Okay, the challenges of women entrepreneurs. It's a serious subject, or is it like, well, let's just take it just like as it flows.
Mm,
Uh, the question I was thinking of is like, since women are there in everywhere and they're just like supporting us, they're half of the society and they're successful of whatever they do actually because they raise the generation, they raise the leaders to be there to be successful. And the question really what arises in my mind is like, why do we find few of them on the top chain of the entrepreneurship? This is
great.
like what. Let's start from here.
Yeah, I love this question, and I will come with a counter question. You mentioned that there's so very few women at the top compared to what? What is it that we're comparing to? Are we comparing to men? Are we comparing to what is it exactly that we're comparing to? In my opinion, success means fulfillment, and fulfillment for men and women are completely different things. We are just built. I apologize for that. We just build differently. We have different needs, and in my opinion, we need to define success. What is a successful businesswoman look like, and what is a successful businessman look like? What is it that they want? They want different things. So, in my opinion, it is not fair to compare
Yeah.
who's top men with women. I'd rather compare women starting going into entrepreneurship right now today compared to a year ago, compared to 2 years, 3 years ago, are there the same numbers? Do we have the same numbers, or this number is growing? So in my opinion, we shouldn't be looking at the top, we should be looking at the entry level. How many
Mm.
women are going into entrepreneurship? Is that number steadily growing? Then I think we're definitely on the right track.
Okay, I agree with you. Like, it doesn't matter or doesn't measure women to be successful only by taking into consideration the business aspect. She can be a great mother. She can be a great supporting sister. She can be a very supportive wife. But most of all, she's raising her kids. This is something maybe fathers or men cannot be there everywhere just like their mother for the kids. I agree with you. It's not like we measure success of women by the business, but I'm talking about those who chosen to be among the business leaders on the top of the world. I was looking into the challenges that women might face, and the most thing that took my attention was the cultural barrier. It's like uh, maybe because of culture, we men, it's a business is dominated by male, right? From the beginning, they were like the man goes to the work and brings and farm and everything, and the wife just cook or prepare the house. And
Daniel?
yeah, am I okay? Am I there? Can you hear me?
I think we froze a little bit.
Oh yeah. Okay. Are we okay now?
If you guys hear me, can you please just give me a sign in the chat? All right, so we're back. The magic.
So I was saying, like from the beginning of life, uh, the men used to go to work and women stays at home. But now, crossing all these things and barriers, we find really successful women in business life. This is a big challenge she already overcrossed. Yeah, I have to take my hats off here. So going into those challenges, the culture barrier is still there, although some women succeeded to reach some point. But what was or what is the secret behind this? How do they come or encounter such challenge?
Right. If we talk about challenges, of course, challenges, we have plenty of challenges. We have cultural challenges, we have stereotypical challenges, we have mindset challenges as well. As women, what is it that we're allowed to do, and what is it, how far are we willing to go, how far we're supposed to go? You know, Daniel, most of us girls were raised to be the good girls, the ones that are good. You know, they are pleasing everyone. They are providing for everyone. They are there to support every single person around them. And this is, yes, partly this is our nature. We need to nurture. We have the need to nurture. That's why, you know, having children, it's a huge, massive, important part of a woman's life. And at the same time, we need to understand that the challenges that are presented right now, and again, maybe I'm overly optimistic right now. I think there is a massive shift in those challenges, because one of the biggest ones, obviously, was the place of women in society, especially cultural, maybe in the Middle East as well, what she is supposed to do. But to be honest, what I'm seeing, a massive shift, and everything. How can we go about and solve that cultural challenge, for example? It definitely starts with the leadership. And right now, mostly the leadership are men. So we are in that position where we hope that the wisdom of the male leadership today is going to build and pave that wonderful path for more and more women to step into entrepreneurship on their own terms. Because I will keep repeating this, I think it's very important to make a delimitation between you know, male and female. And I know the feminists, they will just, you know, I'm stepping into dangerous territory here, but we do have different needs, biological needs. As human beings, we have needs. As men and women, we do have different needs. We need to recognize that. And I'm happy to give you an example when it comes to shifting cultural paradigms. Even here in the UAE, for example, we're both based in Dubai. Obviously, we have a massive, massive amount of support from the government to empower women to step into entrepreneurship. Massive. And I have two examples, and I always like to share the bit, because I myself am personally so inspired of examples where men empower their daughters, fathers empower their daughters to step into business, which is the essence of empowerment women. And the two examples, number one is Dr. Raja Al Ghurg. She's a amazing entrepreneur. She is at the head of the family businesses. Just Google her, Dr. Rajal Burke. She's also the founder of Dubai Businesswomen Council, one of the founding members. Unbelievable, inspiring lady, the head of many, many
You're
businesses.
saying you're saying yes, man should be there to support, like the
Yes,
father, the husband, and everyone. But still, um, yeah, I still believe that even with the high education, the people are there, they still have this mindset that woman places in her house. She's the queen of her house. And this is a big struggle for the women to come up out of this, let's say, image that is spread all over the culture. But
right.
still, now I can see more into accepting the idea of women being there in the leadership positions. There's one thing more, which is that struggle to be taken seriously. I love this point because I remember when I was like in the corporate life, when we sit in a meeting, the one that is uh, in the meeting that should supposed to be taking the minutes of the meeting like everybody looks at the female. And that was the point when I met. I was talking to my friend Fiona the other day, and she was like, "Oh, okay. Since I'm the female here, I'm not supposed. I'm not the only one who's supposed to take minutes repeating, just because I'm female." So struggling to be taken as serious. I am the business owner. I am the second party of this discussion of this meeting. Take me seriously. I'm not here just like to take the notes and go back.
Yeah.
It's not like the culture of accepting women to be there, but also the role.
Yeah, no, and I love this example. Thank you so much, Daniel, for sharing. I think it's very speaking, a very speaking example. There are two ways we can go from here. We can go and endlessly talk about how much we need to prove, how much we need to demonstrate, how much we need to strive to be taken seriously or not. I say I'm not going to spend 1 second of my time on that. I say I'm going to take all the focus and energy that I have and focus on building, focus on creating, focus on learning, focus on changing my mindset, focus on acquiring entrepreneurial skills. Look, society is going
I
to
mean,
have,
let me just.
I'll explain you why, Daniel, because
Okay, all right.
you can go ahead and I can spend all my energy and time trying to prove myself, or I'm going to spend all my time and energy into building and creating and let that change the perspective and shift and let my actions be taken seriously. Not me. I don't need to be taken seriously. I don't care. Let my actions speak louder than my own ego.
I love it. I love it. It's like don't waste the time to prove that you deserve it if you are already there. I love it. Um, uh, but one more thing is like, how do you react to such a situation? It's like to be there. Do you have to be rude? It's like tough woman, and because I remember we used to have CEOs, VPs, and you need like to have guts to open the door to her office. It's like you feel like you have to gather yourself before you go there. It's like, do you have to be mean woman to reach there?
Beautiful question. And with that, I'll reply with a little story. Once upon a time, there were two people, the wise man and the angry man. So one day, the angry man goes to the wise man. And this can go either for men and women, regardless, gender equal, right? The story. The angry man goes to the wise man and he's angry, right? He goes on for 20 minutes and he's so angry. He unleashes all of his anger into the wise man, to which the wise man didn't even move a brow. Few hours later pass by, the angry man comes down and he becomes curious. He goes back to the wise man and he says, you know what? I want to know what's your secret. I came here, I was so angry, and I went on for 20 minutes, and you didn't even move a brow. What's happening? Well, how come you're so calm? And the wise man said, well, it is very simple. The anger that you came with to me is yours. It had absolutely nothing to do with me.
Oh,
So a reply to the question, how should you react? Should you mirror manly behavior and to be the tougher of the toughest? And again, I don't think this is unnatural. Then I will have to pretend to be a man in a skirt, and that's not at all the point, right? We are different sexes. We have different strengths and weaknesses. I'd rather focus on intuition. Women are known to have, I don't think women have better intuition. I think they just trust in their intuition more. I would myself probably go more along with my intuition. I would focus on my strengths because I can be the best version of a woman. I'm not trying to be a man wearing a skirt.
it's like there is one more point we have to pay attention to. It's like you own your own accomplishment. It's like because of you, the company is running, right?
And because of
So
you, the company is failing. Are you a man or a woman?
yeah, yeah. Do you think the mentioning failure? Do you think like the fear of failure is different when you talk about women compared to men?
It's a great question. I think women see failure different because as nurturers, as mothers, inevitable is not that we are smarter, wiser. No way. We're just programmed to have more foresight and maybe not take as many unaccounted risk or take too risky decisions because it's natural to us to think 5 steps ahead. This, well, what am I going to feed my kids with the day after tomorrow if I take this decision? So I think we are naturally in the situation where failure, we're less likely to gamble, I would say. Not that gambling is bad or taking super risky decision is bad. It's just, I think, and again, it's my subjective opinion, I think men are more likely to do that just because they have different predominance, different needs than women when it comes to that. So I think it's just, that's why I think success or business success is quite different for men and women. And maybe the outcome will be the same, but the process, us getting there, a man and a woman, I think that's the process might be very different.
Okay, as a man, I learned it the hard way how to succeed in life, and especially in the business aspect. And it's changing. Before it was cold calling. Now we have to network more and meet peers like us to exchange knowledge and spread the knowledge and stuff. So, what do you think of when it's back to women now? Networking is key for any business owner, right? So uh, it's quite uh, taking it back when I, as a man, just go and network with men like me in a community or business owners or an event, right? I get invited and I meet people freely, but it's like a bit shy if it is a woman who was invited, and how she'd like be the initiator of hi, how are you, my name is blah, and I would love to meet you, and how, like, because she will be afraid of how to be understood, like
Yeah.
yeah, she likes me, or she's like taking everybody else out and she's directly talking to me. It's like, this is like what I believe women are just like so cautious about. I don't start. I just like don't express feelings.
Yeah.
It might get misunderstood. So,
Yeah.
is it something like yeah, we,
Well,
we feel it for real, right?
I get a lot of marriage proposals online. I'm very, there's that. I'm very present on lots of social media platforms due to the nature of business that I have. And I do get lots of marriage proposals, and which is quite funny. I'm married. I have 2 teenage boys, but it's flattering. I mean, honestly, I choose to use humor. I choose always to use humor, and that is my personal natural way to connect. I don't have a formula for it because there is a stigma that if a woman is extrovert, is open for connection, it might be interpreted as flirting. But again, back to the story of the angry man and the wise man, that perception, it's in the eye of the beholder. It has nothing to do with my behavior. So as women out there, we are very aware of this misconception. But again, it's just another thing that either I can cry about it or either I can choose my strategy and be very, very clear, set my boundaries really high and really well, not walls, boundaries, where any kind of comment I would give people a chance. I would explain, say, well, I think you got it wrong. That's not what I'm here for. And if I hear, let's say, people pushing on within these whole indecent proposals or wink, wink, or any of those things, I'm just, it's a hard no. It's a hard
Okay,
pass.
I know you can control it, but it's hard. Sometimes, like, do you handshake or not? Do you smile? What can I just like, those
Yeah,
body signals or even
right.
actions, right?
Yeah.
How you can control it and deliver the message that I'm open, but I have boundaries.
Well, there are so many resources online, offline, books, courses about body language, how to interpret that. I'm back to my intuition. I am always shaking hands. I'm always smiling. I'm always open because I am speaking to. Look, Daniel, we all as human beings, we all have the need to be good. There are studies done, even people on the death row, being interviewed and whatnot, they're trying to be liked, they're trying to be good. It's insane. We have this inherent need to be good people, to do good things. And my intention when I connect to someone, I always assume positive intent. My basic assumption is that you're a good human being and you're here to do business and you're not having indecent thoughts about me or anything like that. That is I set the tone. There's two ways. Either I can go there defensive. Oh my, I hope they don't talk to me. I hope they don't think, I hope that. No, it's either they affect my energy or I affect their energy. I'm here to connect. I'm here to build business. I'm here to reach out. I'm here to bring positive energy. And when I come with this wall with good positive energy, to be honest, in person, I can literally count on the fingers of one hand years and years and years of business in Dubai that I got any indecent comments or anything in person. Online is a different story, right? We all know that. But having that intention, we do read each other's energy. We do read each other's intuition. Let's have a little more trust in humanity. The bias is
Yeah,
out
I,
there,
I don't
right?
say I don't say like everybody has bad intention. Like I try to imagine like you are
Not
there
that bad. It's not
on
that bad.
top of the stage, okay, on top of the stage. Forget about online because you can control it. It's not like direct contact, but you're there on the stage. Is it like different perspective because you are on the spotlight? And let's say someone just through a comment, or they will dig you online. They will just search all your life to try to trust you. So they will try to cross anything you put there available in your social media just to get to know you, right? So they are already know a bit about you. So it depends on how much you offer. But uh, how do you recognize when it is crossed or not, and how you act when you're under the spot on the stage, if you have some.
Yeah, wonderful question. Number one, know your boundaries. Know your boundaries, know your standards, and know your values. Simple. Know yourself. I will always start with that. It is never about the other person. It is always about me, knowing my own boundaries. What in my world is acceptable in Leo's world, and what is indecent? What do I perceive that? And I'm very clear. Number one, I'll definitely in the spotlight. I will definitely reply with humor. I will take it. I will laugh at it. I would laugh with that person. That I think, as I say, my intention is I always assume positive intent. Probably they didn't know. I give them the benefit of the doubt. Second strike, it's a hard no. I would either take action, I would either get serious and just tell them straight to their face that this is indecent if I think if it crossed my personal boundaries. But how do I know? Because I am aware what in my universe is decent or indecent. And people sometimes might not know. That's why I give people benefit of the doubt. That's why I'm clear about this is okay, this is not okay. We all have different boundaries is very different for different people, and that's totally okay. And that's why you have to communicate where your boundaries are. You can't expect everyone to know or to sense, to guess what is okay with me, what is not. So it's my job to communicate that, but I need to
Let
communicate
us
what I know.
let us look at it from a different angle. Okay, we were talking about the community accepting you as one of the leaders. Okay, let's talk about your employees, your staff, your people.
Yeah.
You have two options: whether to have your own kingdom of women or girls, or you have the option, just like any other firm, to have diversity, right? So, still, again, the culture of people accepting a female manager, especially with those expert people, that is like old school, let's say, who just like managed to be he's super manager, like he managed so many people beneath him, and then all of a sudden you are assigned as his VP or his CEO. Oh my God, you are recently you can be in the age of his daughter. You can imagine how many barriers he has to accept and take the fact that yeah, I have to obey the orders of Leo because she's my manager. It's challenging not for him, not it's for you because he has a concept of what he learned. This is what should be done, and this is how it should be done. He can face you because out of my experience, this is how it should be done. And he
So, Daniel, you said something. It's not going to be challenging for him. It's going to be challenging for me. I'm curious what made you say that.
because after all, you
What are
are
you assuming?
yeah, you setting the rules, but he's not following, right? You to prove yourself as managing or business owner, you have to put the rules to be followed, but he's not because of this reason. I'm putting scenarios just to challenge you. You know,
Love
it's
that.
like just to say like a woman in this position, what should be the right action?
Great question, and very practical one. What I, as a leader, so woman, not woman, if I, let's say, if this person would be reporting to me, I am a leader, right? It is my job to figure out this person's needs and to try and meet those needs. So the way we communicate, so when we, let's say, disobey, when we are being aggressive,
He will not
violent,
disobey. He will not disobey directly. It's just like maybe
Daniel,
ignore something.
I hear you. I understood your point, ignoring, right? So this is a violent way of communicate. So we have a violent way to communicate, like I'm just not going to do my job. I'm just not going to do it, right? Or anything else, an act of defiance or anything. My job as a leader is going to be to understand this person's needs, even though and period, point blank, I have no excuses. I have no excuses as a leader to say, well, it's his fault. Poor me or anything like that. If you step into a leader's shoes, leadership is not, it's not a vacation. It's a huge responsibility. It is your job as a leader to figure that person out. There are different ways.
Yeah.
And the number one way is communication, listening what needs are not met when he sees me as his leader. What is it that needs to be expressed for him?
Maybe you go one to one and try to figure out the edge, the what he
Communication.
has it.
And maybe
Communication.
I would use specifically, I would use the nonviolent communication tool
Yeah, yeah,
by Dr. Marshall Rosenberg. I think it's an unbelievable tool for any leader in any kind of sticky situations with their team members
yeah, yeah,
to
yeah.
show leadership and to understand that person. It is young, old, woman, man. If it's a question of authority, what needs are not being met in this situation for him? Yeah.
Okay, back to the core of our live stream. The reason of this session is like women love to wear many hats, especially those are on the top of the entrepreneur. Um, the question goes like balancing between work and life, life and business. You name it. It's they spread all over the world, and then people just like whatever they have this in mind, they just talk and talk and talk and talk. So, is there something solid? We call it balance, work and life, or is it different formula depending on the individual?
Yeah, that's a great question and very
And before we go there, would love to invite all of our attendees if they have anything in mind, pop up anytime. you'll be most welcome, and we will continue talk about it.
We'll definitely
Sorry to
love.
stop you.
Yeah, no, absolutely, and I'll just I'll echo what you just said. Would love you guys to participate and let us know what you think. Even there are things that we hear
Mostly,
you strongly.
mostly the congratulate you for the birthday.
Thank
So
you.
yeah,
Oh, I'm sorry, I don't see the chat. Thank you. That you guys are so kind. Um,
Lara, Shahid, and Layan, everyone.
oh, there you go. Now I can see the chat. Thank you, Lara. I'm sorry for being rude. I didn't reply. Now I can see. Appreciate it, and would love you guys to jump as well and to share your thoughts on that. When it comes to balance, few things come to mind. One of the biggest plagues that women entrepreneurs suffer from, and any executive women, basically, not only entrepreneurs, but working moms, is shame and guilt of not
Yeah,
being a good parent, and those are very heavy loads to carry. And not only that, is shame and guilt that eventually, unfortunately, might lead to lifelong regret. And who wants to live a life of regret? That's very, very heavy. So besides all the cultural stigma, whatnot, problems, challenges we have as female entrepreneurs, I think the burden of shame and guilt is something that is very heavy. Now, we have shame and guilt because we want to be perfect in everything as women. We want to be the good girls. We need to be, to divide ourselves in equal parts, and to family, and to this and to that. Partially, what I blame this for is the tyranny of balance. I actually call it the tyranny of balance, because we hear balance, 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 balance everywhere. And that leads to what? More pressure, more stress for the female, for women to be perfect in everything and to give more, give more, give more, give more. And I think it's total nonsense, because it's just another stick to beat yourself up. When you say, well, balance, I don't have balance, I need more balance. How is this balance? She has more balance than me, they have more balance than me. And is the wrong, again, perspective to look through. I think instead of us looking, do I have balance, do I not balance? Balance is, number one, is a very personal thing. So balance does not mean you having all parts of your life equally divided and equally perfect, that you spend equal time everywhere and you're perfect. No. Balance is understanding what season of life you're in right now, and what is it that you need right now. And balance today for me might look like 80% to my career and 20% for my family. Or in 5 years from now, balance, my version of balance, might look like 80% family and 20% business. So forget everything what you heard about balance. Balance is, what is it that you need right now in this season of life. What I mean by seasons in life, everything goes right. What I needed, but my balance in my 20s and in my 40s, completely different things, completely nothing to do with each other. Why? Because we're going through seasons in life, and understanding that every season has its own needs for the same person is important. Now, you're the same person, I have the same values, but as I go through seasons in life, these values, they change position in importance. If maybe career was on top, now maybe family is on top, maybe later friends are on top, or leisure, or health, whatever it is.
do you
So
think this is seasoning can be during one day? Because it's not like only depending on the age. Because let me tell you, for example, today I have the graduation of my son. For example, no matter what meeting you have, or no matter what other thing I have to do, I have to go and attend this graduation. Evan. So today is like 8 hours or 4 hours with my kid. Tomorrow it's like, okay, I have to pay attention back to compensate the. So it's daily seasoning, let's
if
say.
that works for you, amazing. That's the thing. This is a tool to serve you. And if you say, Leo, you know what? No, I want to have it daily. Do it. Do it by all means. What I'm trying to convey the message is, this is a tool to serve you. This is not a tool to beat yourself up and to give you more shame and more guilt, for you to take on more guilt. Not at all. Switch that. If that's what works for you, Daniel, amazing. You were self-aware in the moment. You say, no, 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 no. What I need right now is this. I need to use this tool in this way. And that is wonderful. That is exactly
So
what I need.
let us agree on one thing. It's like not one fixed formula.
No.
Depends on how old I am, what's my gender, what's my background, what's my priorities. Priority setting is like different daily base or sometimes hourly base because something happened urgently and it has priority and I have to skip
However,
everything else.
you have a framework when it comes to your values, right? So what's important to me, my family, my work, my friends. So you have kind of like this framework that is always there, and you just check in. So I have 5 things. Oh, right now, what needs my attention? This one needs my attention. That's exactly what I'm going to do. And the clarity on what you're doing right now, what value you're honoring right now, what is it that needs to be attended to right now, will help you release that useless shame and guilt and feeling bad. Because what happens is we end up being at work or in business feeling guilty that you're not home, and being at home and you feeling guilty that you're not at your work or in your business. It is madness. It is madness. Why this is happening? Because all the ways we should be and we're supposed to be, we're told to have balance, we're told to have this, we're told to have that. Everything is personal. Get clear on your values. Take a decision on yourself. Have a three-way meeting with you, and you. You say, right, for us right now, Leo, Coach Leo, Mother Leo, right? Business owner Leo, 4 of us, 5 of us, however many of us, we sit down at the table right now and we decide what is it that we want to
I
life.
love that. I love it.
Right.
It's like,
Take 5 minutes of self-awareness and real talk with yourself. And you say, you know what? I want to kill it for the next 5 years because that's important. And after 5 years, I want to retire. Hence, Mother Leo, we're going to allocate you 20%, and you're going to be okay with that. But when you're in those 20%, you better be present. You better be
I
present.
I get your point. It's a mindset of how I think. But what happens to emotion? You
Emo-
know, the mother feeling behind, like, oh, my kid has fever. I know it's how she can focus
right.
on a meeting of big decision,
Then
high,
I
big
have my
deal.
emergency list. I have my agreement with me. How do I act in case of emergencies? Again, my kid has
Agreement with me. I love
I,
that.
it's all you with you. It's like, okay, so if we have an emergency, how are we going to react? Mother Leo, Coach Leo, and business owner Leo. This is the formula how we're
You
gonna
call
react.
up for a ad hoc meeting with you and yourself, me, myself, and Arin.
Right? I
The
might
other.
sound like a crazy person, Daniel, but I don't have shame and guilt.
Oh, nice.
And,
Okay, let's
and
let's
compare,
address this.
because I'm a real person, right? At the same time, I don't want our listeners to think, oh, she's so perfect and all. I had debilitating level. I had used to have debilitating levels of shame and guilt that will paralyze me. I'm talking from real life experience. I'm not talking from blah blah imaginary concepts. I'm talking from real life.
Of
Uh,
course, yeah.
and and I overcame that completely. 100% no, right? But is it way better? 100% yes. And I'm just sharing what worked for me. These are the tools that I applied, and I continuously do it with myself, and it
It's not
works.
like it's not like because you're expert with that. It's not like because you're a coach expert in these things. It's also because you are experiencing it and living it every day.
That's right.
That's you have a very high credit for it. Uh, I have to say, like we're living it daily base, and we have those priorities, and sometimes we do mistakes. So what I want to like to talk to the women who are really there and stuck, and sometimes emotions, or most of the times, emotion beats them. I supposed to be there. He was my brother, the event, business, and every time. And sometimes when you sit with the family, you feel good about business. It's not it's not only one way direction, right? I'm talking to friends, and friends are there, and I cook the meal, and yeah, we're having good time. But oh my God, the team back there in the office, they're having a meeting, they're discussing this. I don't know what the output is. So it's two-way. Um, what I want to, uh, those women who are stuck in this life of guilt and shame, how we can help them out. This is my question.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because it's very practical. Um, there is one pre-requirement for us to help them. The pre-requirement is you really want to get out of that feeling, because there's nothing we can do for people who have made that their identity, right? Here I am, I'm a victim, I'm a martyr, I carry all these loads, I carry all these hats. Nobody cares. Nobody cares. And that's the truth. No one cares. You have
So
to,
true.
it's true. You have to put the oxygen mask on your face first. So one pre-requirement and one alone. You have to want to get rid of shame and guilt. If you do, my friend, my darling, let's go. Let's go. And there are so many resources out there. And I don't have, again, one prescription, one formula. For someone, meditation works. For somebody else, journaling. A third person, therapy will work. Coaching will work. Talking to a good, dear friend and cry it out works too, right? So there is not one avenue of, you have to want to get out of that situation. You have to want to stop saying, well, there's nothing I can do, this is how I am. because
Okay,
because that you're
but
speaking it into existence. You
is it
have to
like
want to
I
start
find
with, I will
I
do
find
whatever it takes until I
yeah.
get rid of these feelings, because this is not who I am.
I know you can say it because you were there and you are training people to do that.
Yeah.
But what if I am in that situation? I am a woman, I have kids, and I still, no matter how I struggle with this guilt and this feel of shame, because I missed this event, I missed being with my kid, I missed that meeting, and I'm still drowning. No matter how I try, how hard I try, sometimes it gets like, oh my God, I have to break. I have to take a break. But when is the right time? When you said I talk to myself, right? So when is the right time to say, hey, I need help. I need coach. I need
Yeah.
advisor. I need someone to just take my hand. That straw is
Yeah.
taking me out from being drowning.
Yeah.
So
Great.
what's that point when I say, oh, I cannot do it anymore?
For different people, it's different. And people ask me, when should I get a coach? Never. If you're asking that question, do not get a coach, because the coach is not going to help you. The coach is not there to convince you, to change your mind, to show you options. A coach is there when you say, I had enough of how I feel right now. I no longer want to feel this way for one more second. That's when a coach comes in and helps you really, because what happens is you're just stuck in a perspective, in this pot of stuckness. And what a coach's job is to come and to help you to reconnect with your vitality, with parts of you that can figure stuff out. We all have that. We all naturally programmed and built to figure things out. That's when a coach comes in. But when is a good time? When you say, not one more second of my life do I want to live with this feeling. I'm done. And the most dangerous place is when it's not really bad, when it's lukewarm, right? That's how the frog boiled, right? Because the water started getting slowly warmer, 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 and that's how the frog boiled. So, lucky for those who have a breakdown, as terrible as this sounds, is the biggest blessing, because that's what catalyzes change. For those who are, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. Do I have an advice? If there would be one advice, is that nagging feeling that comes to you every single evening and tells you you can't go on. Remember who you are. There's more to life. You haven't laughed in 5 days. You're going through the motions. This is not you anymore. Who am I? Where is my vitality? Where is my excitement? Where is my thrill? Where is my adrenaline? Who am I? You know, existential questions.
And go back to the most charging source in your life. After that, to energize your 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 feeling of back to basics, right? And when you say, "Hey, this is not me anymore. I need to do," and much more to go back to the energy me, the active me, the positivity, engaging me. So maybe if you get charged with your kids, go spend some time with them. If you get charged with your business, spend more time. If you go maybe traveling or get back to charge yourself, right?
100%. Because the thing is, that voice is not going to go away. That voice is not going to go away. Try to hush it. Try to ignore it. That's going to be one brick on your head one day. That's going to be a door in your face one day. That voice does not go away. And if you
Wow.
don't listen, you will end up in regret. And who wants to live with regret of getting at the end of life and saying all the things I could have been? When it's time for you to transition, and God, the universe shows you a life of what you could have been with all the potential, all the gifts, all the blessings that you are given. And you just chose the comfort zone. You chose to be okay. You chose to ignore that voice.
Okay. It, talking about these things, it's like endless because it's like how human feel inside about. It's not like a woman issue, but we had the women challenge because she's like expected to be the backbone, even for the husband, for her kids, for business. She's like everyone who looks like for a shoulder or a hug, it will be the woman. We hug our mother, we hug our wives, we hug, just to get charged. These are like what men, what men looks to be charged with. So it's a big burden on woman's shoulder to be there when she's needed. But let us come up with this by closing and say, if you feel guilt now about like, yeah, I supposed to be there, not there, and stuff like that, you're just going to regret it in 10 years after that because you're not moving towards your dreams, your own dreams. If you're not feeling happy, you'll not spread happiness. If you're looking to be successful businesswoman and you're not achieving it because you feel guilt and you have to stay more at home, then you're not going to be the head of your business after 5 years. You're gonna quit. So what I was trying to say is like small guilt now that can be controllable, managed because of priorities, set up layers, just like you were explaining, will help us build a bigger dream.
100%. It's very simple, and the way I explain it is energy. We're given 100 dirham of energy every single day. That's so to speak. So if you carry guilt and shame around, you don't address it. Whatever shape or form you want to address it to, with having a counsel with yourself, or seeking help, seeking some guidance. Every day you wake up, you're given that 100% of energy. And energy is what? Energy is the quality of your decisions. Simple. And the quality of your decisions is the quality of your life, business, everything, family, with kids present. Are you gonna listen to them? Or are you gonna snap at them? Like everything. So what happens is, when you don't deal with shame, guilt, whatever feelings with the load, the load that every woman has, is that automatically a percentage of this 100 dirham energy goes into that pool of negative feelings that you're carrying around, 50, 60, 70 dirham, even of your energy right off the bat. You open your eyes, boom, shame, guilt, boom. 70% of your energy goes into that. And we operate
Consume
on fumes.
energy drain.
And that is real. And for men, is the same thing. For men, that might be, I'm
Yeah,
not good enough, I'm an imposter, right?
yeah, 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 true.
Fear of failure. Fear of failure. What are they going to say? What my peers going to say, and so on. Good luck
So,
not dealing with it.
talking about men, and let us have it this as a last question before we conclude.
Yeah.
It's like I opened this session because I want to listen. As a man, what can I do to support women? Because I love my sister, I love my wife, I love my mother, and she's also a human being that has dreams. What can I do to help them?
Wow. I mean, you're amazing for asking that question.
Thank you.
Daniel, asking that question, going and asking that question, that's what you can do. And genuinely listen. Just ask
Oh,
them, what do you need? What do you need from me as your son? What do you need from me as your husband? Just listen.
just listen.
Just listen.
Wow, that was a very nice conclusion in my perspective. So I would rather sincerely would like to thank you and for being here with me today. It was almost an hour, and thank you, audience, for being also with us today. And I hope next time will be more interaction. Let's see more of you. And that was me, Daniel Tokal, along with Coach Leo. Thank you very much, Coach Leo. It was very pleasant day. And again, happy birthday.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you for everyone who is watching this live or on replay. This is our first session. And just remember that you're a question away that you can ask yourself or the people around you from a completely different life. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you. Thank you very much. See you all. Bye bye, guys.
Bye.